This is V. Nagarjuna. Today I would like to explain the concept of memory devices in the computer system. The memory device in the computer system refers to the electronic storage space for instructions and data where the computer processor can reach quickly. That means the instructions and data are quickly reached to the processor for that to use some memory devices. The computer storage refers to the permanent computer memory that stores all the data files and instructions even after the computer system is turned off. That means, for example, you can store some information to the computer system. Those information can be stored in permanent manner. For example, you can switch on at this time. After certain time, that means 1 day or 2 days or 1 week or 1 month, you can restart the system. The same data will be available in the system. For that to use storage devices. A computer processor have very limited memory area. Thus it has to rely on other kind of memories to store data, instructions and results. That means the basic uses of memory devices are data storage, instructions and also sometimes results also stored. Next one, a memory in a computer system can be of two types. One is internal storage area, second one is secondary storage area. Internal memory includes registers, cache memory and primary memory which can be directly accessed by the processor. It is used for temporary storage of data and instructions on which the processor is currently working. The basic features of internal memory are temporary storage, limited storage capacity, fast access and high cost. These are the basic features of internal memory devices. What are the basic features of internal storage memory devices? First one is temporary storage is the one feature, limited storage capacity is the second feature, fast access is the third feature and the fourth feature is high capacity. Then the registers and high speed temporary storage area located inside the CPU. The CPU contains registers and high storage capacity devices. These two are placed inside the CPU. After the CPU gets the data and instructions from the cache or RAM. The data and instructions are moved to the register for processing. These registers work under the direction of the control unit to accept, store and transfer instructions or data and perform arithmetical or logical operations at high speed. Here you see temporary storage devices are used as well as the same time secondary storage devices also used. The CPU can perform all arithmetical operations. Before going to process the data can be stored in temporary manner with the help of registers. After calculation will be completed, the data can be stored in permanent manner for that to use secondary storage devices. So all these operations can be performed by ALU unit in the CPU, arithmetic and logic unit, is used to perform all arithmetical operations in the computer system. Next one, another storage devices is the cache memory. The cache memory is a very high speed memory, is placed in between the CPU and RAM. Cache memory stores data that is used more often temporarily and make it available to CPU at a fast rate. So cache memory is a very small high speed storage devices. The cache memory is always placed in between the RAM and the CPU. The cache memory is very near to the CPU compared to the RAM chip. So this is very fastest and small size of the memory device in the computer system. Hence it is used to increase the speed of processing. During processing, the CPU first checks cache for the required data. First CPU checks the required data is available in the CPU or not. During processing, the CPU first checks the cache for the required data. If data is not found in cache, then it looks in the RAM for data. Cache memory is very expensive, so it is smaller in size. Generally, computers have cache memory of size is 256 KB to 2 MB. That means 256 kilobytes to 2 megabytes. These are the basic uses of a computer systems. At the basic level, the computers used the cache memory capacity is 256 kilobytes to 2 megabytes. So what are the major characteristics of cache memory? Cache memory is a very expensive and a small size compared to other memory devices. Next one is the primary memory devices. Primary memory is also known as main memory. This memory is of two types, random access memory and read-only memory. First one is RAM. RAM stands for random access memory. The random access memory is used to store the data in temporary manner. Compared to ROM, it is the fastest memory devices. When we are using the RAM device, that means temporary storage area, at runtime the computer system suddenly switch off. After 5 minutes you can restart the system. The previous data will be lost. This nature is called volatile nature. RAM follows volatile nature. When the power is switched off, the data in this memory is lost. That is volatile nature. So RAM is volatile memory. RAM can be split into two types. One is SRAM, second one is a dynamic RAM. SRAM stands for static RAM, DRAM stands for dynamic RAM. SRAM uses multiple transistors. Approximately 4 to 6 transistors are used for designing static RAM. But in dynamic RAM it uses transistors and capacitors. That is the basic comparison between the SRAM and DRAM. SRAM stands for static RAM, DRAM stands for dynamic RAM. SRAM uses multiple transistors. That means approximately 4 to 6 transistors are used for designing the static random access memory. Dynamic RAM, it uses transistors, both transistors and capacitors. SRAM chip is usually used in cache memory, but dynamic RAM can be used in main memory devices. So static RAM can be used in static RAM chip is usually used in cache memory. Dynamic RAM, dynamic random access memory used in main memory devices. SRAM is faster than DRAM, but DRAM is slow because refreshing takes time. All these are the basic comparisons between SRAM and DRAM. Then we are going to next memory devices is ROM. ROM is a small memory which stores the boot firmware called BIOS. That means basic input-output systems. It holds some information in the computer systems. ROM follows non-volatile nature. That means the computer is a switch off, the contents of the ROM remains available. That means when we are working on the computer system, suddenly switch off the computer system. After certain time, to restart the same computer system, the previous data will be available on the same computer system. That nature is called non-volatile nature. So basically RAM is volatile nature, whereas ROM is non-volatile nature. So next one, power supply to a computer system. You know that you can use any type of computer systems, always power supply is needed. Whenever the power supply plug is removed from the board, the system automatically shutting down or break down. Electric power is the main source of supply for the operation of electronic components of a computer system. All electronic components can run on a computer system with the help of electronic power. Therefore, continuous power supply is essential for the computer to prevent them from failure, breakdown or shutdown. All computers come with a power supply. There are two types of power supply connectors to a computer system. There are switched mode power supply, that means SMPS, simple switched mode power supply, and uni-interruptible power supply, that means UPS. There are two types of power supply connectors to a computer system. One is a switched mode power supply, that means SMPS. Second one is uninterruptible power supply, that means UPS. UPS stands for uninterruptible power supply. So, switched mode power supply converts AC power supply from the electrical outlet to DC power supply needed by system components. In simple words, SMPS converts AC to DC. That means alternating power supply to direct current power supply needed by system components. As SMPS is a metal box in the rear of the system that is attached to the computer chassis and to the system board. The power supply contains the power cord plug and a fan for cooling because it generates a lot of heat. An SMPS with a rating of more than 300 watts is needed. This is the small descriptive about a switched mode power supply, that means SMPS. Next one, another type is UPS, that means uninterruptible power supply. An UPS is a power supply that includes a battery to maintain power in the event of power failure. Typically, an UPS keeps a computer runs for several minutes for few hours after the power failure, enabling us to save data that is in RAM and then shut down the computer gracefully. Many UPS now offer a software component. What are the basic differences between SMPS and UPS? SMPS is used to give the power supply directly to the computer system. When we are working on the computer system, at the same time the power supply will be removed from the computer system, or unfortunately to break down the power supply, the computer system simply shut down or break down. But whereas to use uninterruptible power supply, UPS are used, the power supply is breakdown, suddenly switch on, overall power supply is switch off, the UPS can run approximately half an hour time. The UPS can run, but it at the same time to give you a signals, a beep sound for power supplies gradually decreases from UPS. That is the basic differences between UPS and SMPS. All these are the power supplies. Next one, types of UPS. There are two types of UPS. One is online UPS, second one is standby UPS. An online UPS avoids this momentary power lapse, continuously providing power from its own inventor. Even when the power line is functioning properly. Next one is standby UPS. A standby UPS, that means or offline UPS, monitors the power line and switches to battery power as soon as it detects a problem. This switch over to battery, however, can require several milliseconds during time the computer is not receiving any power. These are the basic types of UPSs. Next one, assembling the computer system. In any market, different types of computer systems are available. That means Lenovo laptops are available, Toshiba, Dell, different company laptops are provided. As the same thing, different companies, they will provide different types of desktop computer systems. Nowadays, so many computer systems are assembled. They will purchase different electronic goods. That means the motherboard is one company and the keyboard is another company. Different companies are available in the market. Different company electronic goods, computer devices are available in the market. Those individual companies provides individual parts. Those parts are used to design a new computer system, assembled computer systems. That means assembling the computer system. Computer configuration is the process of setting up your hardware devices and assigning resources to them so that they work together without problems. A properly configured system will allow you to avoid noisy resource conflict problems and make it easier for you to upgrade your system with new equipment in the future. An improperly configured system will lead to store errors and problems and make upgraded nightmare. So when the new computer system can be assembled, devices are useful for designing a new computer system. At the same time, you must check the particular devices can work. It may be a proper way or improper way. That is the important thing in assembling the computer system. So, compared to company systems and assembled systems are low cost because individual components are purchased at low cost. The working aspect of company provided systems are very efficient compared to assembled computer systems. So all these are the basic memory devices and assembling the computer system. This is the basic explanation about the memory devices and assembling the computer system. Okay. Thank you.